Okay, SAMs are down. I'm cleared in. Okay, so it's just going to, I'm just going to take the aircraft down low, a little bit lower than this, along this road, go off to the right. I've got a column right there. Okay, I'll just take it off straight ahead. I see nothing out there straight ahead or possibly a little bit to the left. I'll go in, try to fire off about 8 rockets on one pass, clean that up a little bit on a second pass if I need to. Okay, the wind is going to be, I can tell from the smokestacks, from my left to right. So I need to aim just a little bit left of the target as I come in here. Okay, let me go speed brakes out, dump off some altitude. Okay, confirm setup, bomb switch, about 45 mils. Bomb, switch up, guns. You go all guns just in case I want to do some strafing on the way in. Okay, airspeed, 400 or so knots, 410. Okay, it's looking good. Let me go ahead and roll in. Speed brakes in. Okay, target dead ahead. Just got to follow the road. I don't like, well, I might have rolled out a little bit too soon. I don't like flying straight and level like this onto a target. I like to sort of come in offset if I can. But I'll take straight and level. It's a good setup. Smoke to my left. I don't see anything else around it. Okay, let me line up, concentrate on this rockets pass. Okay, so target's in sight. So I want to start with the Pipper in front of it. I want to offset it just a little bit left of the target for wind. Okay, come on up. Coaxing it up a little bit with some back pressure right now. Okay, right about there. That's my first pass. Let me go ahead and throttle on up and get out of here. Let me move the aircraft around a little bit just in case they have AAA, which I do see some ground fire coming at me. Oh, that was a nice pass. Okay, column taking fire from my left. That was without a doubt the best rockets pass I've ever made in the F-86. Okay, that was a good hit on that target. I've got, okay, I think I'm clear out to here. I didn't see anything else, just that one little, okay, I've got civilian traffic down below me. I'm going to come around one more time.
Relic 1, ammo permitting, move on to your secondary objective.
Okay, so this target is down. Okay, secondary objective, it would be closer to the river. Got smoke. Okay, I've got the secondary. It was a group of vehicles. I've got it right there. I don't want to overfly that primary target. Let me come in. I was taking ground fire from right there. I'll come around here to the left. Pop up again. Roll in on that secondary. I'll try to fire off all the rest of the rockets on one pass. And then egress across the river. Okay, this is a good setup. Okay, I just need to aim a little bit to the right of the target this time for wind. Pop up a little bit. I can throttle up now. Okay, smoke below me. Okay, got the target in sight. Let's roll it out.
Tornado seeds to all units. I'm picking up heavy radar hits from the southeast. Looks like we may have inbound enemy fighters.
Well, that's not good. Okay, rest of the rockets are off. That was a terrible pass right there. Okay, let's come up. I was lined up on the wrong side. I didn't adjust for the wind properly. Okay, enemy fighters inbound. Forward radar station, can you confirm? Let me see what I need to do here. Okay, I think I'm going to make one guns pass real quick and then come off.
Aircraft over Gali. This is the forward radar station. We have detected 2 unknown enemy aircraft that have departed Kutaisi and are heading straight at you. Altitude 26,000 feet climbing. Speed.
Okay, departed Kutaisi hitting straight at me.
Their bearing is 060.
Okay, 060. Okay, that's in front of me. Okay, I can't resist making one more pass. This is such a perfect target. Okay, I've got guns pulled up. I'm going to come off right after I fire.
Hey, contrail spotted to the southeast.
Okay, yeah, I know. I couldn't resist that though. Okay, let me come off right. Throttle up full. Okay, contrails to the southeast. That means that I need to just take it out here to the coast and turn right. Actually, I can turn right now. Okay, good burning vehicles down there in that area. Boy, I probably shouldn't have done that, actually. Okay, let me go ahead and go down low. I'll just take it down as low as I can. Stay in the ground clutter. Okay, contrails above me.
Enemy aircraft are now 12 miles away from the city of Slovenia, closing in fast.
Okay, gotcha. My speed's up to pretty much max, above Mach 0.9 right now. It's going to be kind of hard to control. If I stay down here low in the ground clutter, I should be okay, depending on what type of aircraft these are. And trim it out right here. I hate being this fast down low because you lose a lot of control authority once you get transonic. Shockwaves start to build up and a lot of weird stuff starts to happen. I'm just looking for missiles coming to me, or actually I'm looking at these guys, making sure these contrails don't turn to come in my direction. So far so good. Okay, I've got probably another about 3 or 4 minutes until I hit our air defenses. I'm still seeing the contrails up there. That doesn't necessarily mean that's where the aircraft are. That could just be some... They could have actually dipped down lower at this point. And yet, no matter how I trim this thing, it's kind of squirrely, as it is supposed to be at this speed. Okay, they've turned. They're coming straight at me practically at this point. They bring it off to the right, and I'll just prepare to turn into any missile that I see coming at me.
Enemy aircraft now over Gali.
Okay. So I got one still coming in my direction, another one is broken off. I hope that doesn't mean that one has fired a missile at me. Okay, let me bring it back down into the ground clutter. As I have Sakumi around here to my left now. Yeah, I've completely lost aileron authority. Let me go ahead and go speed brakes out. Take it down below transonic. I'll say it about Mach 0.85 or so, just so that I can control the aircraft. Okay, contrail's still coming at me. Okay, I'm going to come off to the left. Well, that's not good. I don't like that flight path they're on. That looks... I don't know, you'll have TAC view. I hope they... It kind of looked like they might have fired a missile right there, but I don't see anything coming at me. I've got the call saying they're breaking off their pursuit. Okay, let me bring it up above the trees a little bit. I was worried, very, very worried there for a second. And I've got Sakumi coming up right in front of me right now. I think I'm okay now. Okay, let me go ahead and pop up. Yeah, I'm within my own air defenses. I hope they know that I'm friendly right now. So that is that. Do I have any rockets left? I have... Let me see. I'm not sure if I do or not. I think I fired everything on that last pass. Let me pop up. Slow down and think for a second. Okay, let me cage my gun sight back up. And I can go ahead and secure the gun sight and all the armament system controls. I'll safe up the rockets especially. Let me go to the center off position. Switch card down. Let me go guns off. Although I think I'm not sure exactly how many rounds I fired. But yeah, guns are now off. Okay, that's it for the cleanup. Now, let me think about a landing here. Okay, let me go ahead and get my trim under control. And just circle here for a second and think. Boy, well, that was a lot of stuff that went on just then in that mission. That was pretty much just from the second I got airborne until now, non-stop. That was a lot of fun. As I still got the contrails out there, so I'll just sit up right here and just fly a circuit real quick. So once I come around right here, I'll just do a little overhead brake, pitch out to the left, and it'll be speed brakes out, and then once I'm down below about 180 or so, flaps and gear to a landing. I think about 115 is going to be my touchdown speed, if I remember the numbers correctly. So I'm lined up more or less where I want to be. Just wait till I'm about overhead the touchdown point. I've already slowed down to about 250. That's just fine. I'm not going to do anything crazy right here. I'm just going to fly it smoothly. Let's go speed brakes out. I want to make sure that I keep the throttle up above the point where, if you remember at the startup, that the generator sort of disconnected. So I'm down through about, okay, 160 or so. Let's go gear down. Let's go flaps down. We'll get speed brakes in. Pull the nose back up and roll it out. So about 150 is what I'm at right now. That should be, yep, flaps full down. Let's go back to the neutral position. Okay, gear, yep, 3 gear indicators are showing down. And then it'll just be, yeah, land. I'll go for about a 140 on the approach speed. I believe it's about 115, like I said, for a touchdown speed. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it on around. I assume those tornadoes made it out okay. I think you'll have seen everything that happened in TAC view. I can only see, of course, what I'm seeing here from my cockpit, but I think the tornadoes did their job okay. I think I pushed it, like I said, in real time. Here, there are the contrails again. I think I pushed it a lot more aggressively than I should have necessarily, but it was such a fun mission. It was such an inviting target with those vehicles just right there. Lined up perfectly for me, and we'll see once I do the external view and edit it all together how successful I was. It seemed like I got a lot of the targets on that second guns pass, and I'll have a good debrief that'll critique that second rockets pass. I know exactly what I did. I sort of compensated for the wind in the wrong direction. I was a little late in picking up the target, so I had to rush that second delivery a little bit. Okay, let me go throttle in. And it's not bleeding off speed the way that I thought it would, but I've got plenty of runway. I don't need to really rush anything. And I want to maintain the throttle above about 63% to make sure that I can go around if I need to, just due to the time that it takes to throttle an old engine like this up. I'm holding it, I think, a couple of feet off the runway. I'm going to wait till my touchdown speed gets down to where it was supposed to be, about 105 or so. And then take it down. Okay, I'll take that as good. Yeah, plenty of runway still. Okay, speed brakes out, and I'll apply brakes also as I come up here. And yeah, you don't need a whole lot of runway at all in an F-86, that's for sure. Okay, so it'll be, actually, is there a, yeah, there is a taxiway coming off up there. For a second there I thought I would have to back taxi. Okay, so rudder center, switch to pressed for nose wheel steering. Then I'm just going to take it around here to the left. And my parking location, yes, up here. Let me see, where is my parking location? It should be right up here. Yeah, there are the F-16s. There's the C-130. So yeah, right there where my cursor is where I'm heading. So let's see here. Other thoughts as I continue to taxi on out. I didn't get the chance, like I wanted to explain why I used the manual pit bombing system instead of the built-in rocket depression function of the A4 sights, and I'll get into that in a tutorial so that I can explain it properly and show exactly what happens and why I don't like, and why, you know, period pilots didn't like to use the A4 for rocket deliveries. And yeah, once this came along, it was and is, as you can see, a lot easier just to dial in a desired setting and then not have to worry about the delays in the gyro or the sensitivity of the gyro that's associated with the A4s, just sort of locked in right there at the depression angle that you set it. And then to correct for wind, you just line up a little bit left or a little bit right, just like you would for any sighting system that you would use from the 1950s through the basically through the 1980s or a little bit beyond. So when it comes to accuracy of your deliveries, and again, I'll explain exactly why, but yeah, it's my firm belief that you're better off actually going with just more of like a fixed sight using the manual PIP system in the F-86. But yeah, more of that to come. Okay, let me take a second to relax here. I'm going to continue to taxi on out and come back once I'm ready to shut her down. Okay, so coming up on my original parking location, I'm just going to take it around here to the right, pull back into my spot, which I think was right here, and run through the shutdown. So again, I'm going to center up my rudders. You press the nose wheel steering engage button and take it on around. Then disengage once my wheel is centered up and my rotors are centered up. Press it again. And take it on around a little bit more aggressively than I intended to the right. But yeah, that'll work. Okay, so that's a successful completion of the mission. So I guess you have to, yeah, I like that. You have to take it all the way back and get into chocks, it looks like, to get credit. And then make sure that my nose wheel is straightened back out. Ah. So yeah, let me see. I need to work on my nose wheel steering usage here. I'm going to taxi around a little bit on my own. I'll be right back once I'm pulling back in and ready to shut down for good. Okay, now coming up to my parking location, nose wheel steering engaged. You take it around to the right, and I think the trick here is just getting it so that you're, moving fast enough that it comes around at the proper rate. Now the trick, what I was having trouble with before, was getting the nose wheel to straighten out right here. Okay, I've got it going straight. Now disengage and brakes, and aircraft's chalked. Okay, now I can go through the shutdown. So let me... there's no harm in leaving the flaps down, I guess, for a shutdown. Let me verify my speed brakes are in. Actually, let me go ahead and extend the speed brakes. They were extended when I started up, so I'll leave them extended for the shutdown. Now, I didn't do anything to my controls down here. Okay, guns are up. Armament system controls are secured and off. Okay, from here, it should just be a matter of pulling the throttle. Okay, let me go for a UHF radio off. Yeah, I should just need to pull the throttle to the cutoff position now. Go engine master off. Actually, I might have made a mistake there. Yeah, there we go. I still have battery power on so I can get the canopy. Okay, now, battery off. So folks, that's going to do it for the mission. I'll be back in just a little bit with a good debrief going over how it actually looks in TAC view. So I'll see you in a second. And now for a quick debrief in TAC view. So we start the mission out with these tornadoes coming overhead. We just form up on them. And it usually takes me about twice as long as it would normally take me to do anything while I'm describing it. So the timing on this, I could have been airborne easily in time just to form up and even fly on the wing of these tornadoes, but I did manage to get airborne, and yeah, it was exactly right on the timing that I needed to be. The tornadoes go in, start to fire their alarm, anti-radiation missiles on, I think these were actually SA-8s that were set up in there, and that allows me to go in pretty much unopposed, with the exception of some ground fire on these targets. Now, my first rockets pass was, well, like you saw, a pretty good pass. Now, the only real critique that I have on this first pass is that I need to get into the habit of doing these deliveries using fixed reference sites or just simple sites pre-A10C style systems from a much higher dive angle, because the higher the angle that you come in from, the less precise you have to be on range, because the higher the angle, the less gravity drop has an effect on whatever projectile you're firing. But I mean, this is what I feel comfortable with. It's just going to take some practice finding what looks right. I was successful here because this just looks right, and it's what I practice. So I make it out of there taking a whole lot of ground fire. I was kind of lucky in retrospect not to take a hit. The F-86 isn't the most durable aircraft in the world. So I get the hits, I have the MiGs pop up here, and I start to get the radio calls as I'm on my second pass. Now, this was not a very good pass for a number of reasons, and mainly it was because it just took me too long to get set up, to roll out and actually start to track the target with the sight. That made me get a little bit too close, or actually way too close for this sight setting to work. And again, that's where getting into the habit of coming in from a higher dive angle is going to help out here, because that 40 to 45 mil setting is great for a shallow attack if you do it from exactly the right range. Probably something more like right up here. If I had fired from like way up here, it would have been fine. Firing in right here, of course, it's not going to drop as much, and that sight setting is not going to be valid. I also set up offset a little bit to the wrong side. I was trying to offset and compensate for the wind by aiming a little bit to the right. I never did really get it over. And additionally, I had kicked in a little bit of right rudder to try to get the nose over to the right, but by doing that, I introduced side slip to the aircraft, and that just throws the rockets all kinds of off, because they come off the aircraft straight, but then they hit the airstream, which is coming in from a different angle due to that side slip, and then they just start to flop around, and that just throws all the ballistics off. So higher dive angle, firing from the proper range, proper lineup, and compensation for the wind, and don't use the rudder and introduce side slip are the lessons learned from this second pass. But, well, that's just going to, it just comes all down to practice, really. So I come back around knowing that these MiGs are right there. I didn't know they were this close, though. My goodness, this was kind of close. I go in for a guns pass, and that was pretty much standard. I can't complain about that at all. And then it's just basically a tail chase, and in retrospect, this phase of it, down on the deck at low level above Mach 0.9, was probably the most dangerous part of the mission because of the lack of control authority and just the transonic shockwave effects on the control surfaces, making it very, very difficult and very, very unpredictable to control. So in retrospect, yeah, this was the most dangerous part. I shouldn't have been this low, and I should have throttled back just a little bit. Although, boy, these guys did get close. I mean, watching it in TAC view and watching the external view replay, I have a feeling I was right on the edge of getting one of those missiles inbound on me, especially like right here. This guy is closing fast. But then I think they get to the point where they just decide to turn back due to the range, or I guess that's just the way the mission was probably designed. At that point, they turn back, and that leaves me free to come in and do my standard approach here to Sukhumi Babushara. So I can't complain with the outcome, and I just think it's the greatest thing in the world that we're getting a campaign of any type for the F-86 and the MiG. And you know, you could debate whether or not having a modern setting with these types of aircraft is appropriate. I didn't notice it one bit during the mission. It was just flat out a fun mission, and like I said, I think during the briefing, there just aren't enough assets really to make a full-blown campaign out of these aircraft and have it be anything other than just F-86 versus MiG-15 over and over and over. You know, this does add some variety, and it's a lot of fun. That's what it comes down to. So, folks, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.